Everybody rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight we start with public participation, recognition of business office retirees Donna Cerny and Charlotte Augsburg. And the Board of Education will recognize Charlotte Augsburg and Donna Cerny, office professionals in the DeKalb School District 428 Business and Finance Department upon their December 2018 retirement from the district. So congratulations.
Donna Sharp can be here tonight, but I just want to give a little history. I didn't even know she did all this stuff in the district. So, in terms of, she started here in 1993, so she's been here for 25 years. She started as a health assistant at Lincoln and worked there for a number of years until October of '99. She also, during that time, worked as a sub-custodian, so she was pretty much working. I didn't really like that.
That was Sharp.
Yeah, that was Sharp. Then she also worked for an office associate in the curriculum department at the Ed Center, and then moved into an office associate position in the business office. And she's been there since 2003. I started here in 2006, so I've known her all my career here in DeKalb. Done an awesome job, and we really are going to miss her. She's right now cross-training Julie Clark, and that's been going really well. So yeah, she'll be very much missed. I have flowers for her, so I'll give them to her tomorrow. Now Donna is here. She's worked in the district since 1996. She started as a school secretary at Jefferson. If I'm wrong, let me know, right? Okay. Then you also had a little where you didn't work here for a while, but then you also just yourself in various positions throughout the district, but then came back to work with us again as a part-time business ops associate. And then I started again in 2006, started working with you right away. And you worked full-time in that position since 2012. So you've been with the district for almost 22 years, which is awesome. Wow. I know, it's crazy.
It doesn't seem that long.
No, totally appreciate everything you've done. You're fine, but
I have
keep
things
giving
in my
me.
pocket if you
Oh,
continue
no.
on. That you, Brad.
And you'll still give me your shoes because we're the same shoe size. So. Even though I'm a lot taller, but she's got a little bit bigger feet than me. So.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate everything.
Congratulations and thank you so much.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for your service.
It's been great.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Next we have acceptance of gifts and donations. This is an action item that the Board of Education accept with gratitude a grant in the amount of $500 from the ExxonMobil Education Alliance Program for Founders Elementary School, which will use to purchase math and science supplies for their STEM lab. Do we have a motion?
So move.
Roll call?
Jeff Halgren,
Yes.
Karen Malak.
Yes.
Victoria Newport,
Yes.
Rick Smith.
Yes.
And thank you to ExxonMobil for that generous
Thank you
donation.
so much.
Sure be well used at Founders.
Oh, we have a big wish list already started.
Yeah.
We just have to narrow it down.
We're good. Next, we have public comment. Members of the public who wish to speak to the board should complete a request card prior to the meeting. This section of the meeting will be reserved for comments from the public. All comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Criticism of individuals is not in order. Any board correspondence? Okay. Next, we have the non-business consent agenda. That the Board of Education approve the non-business consent agenda items A through E.
We're going to pull C out.
Mhm.
Yes, I move that we remove item C from the non-business consent agenda, correct? Is that what we're talking about? Yes.
No,
No? The destruction of those? Mhm.
yes, it is, right.
Right? And that's C. Mhm. I move that we remove C from the non-business consent agenda, period.
Do we have a second? Okay. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Jeff Albrecht,
Yes.
Mary Millette,
Yes.
Victoria Newport.
Yes. Okay, so the motion now reads, the Board of Education approve the non-business consent agenda items A, B, E, and E. Is that correct? D and E. Okay,
So, second?
okay, roll call?
Mary Millette, Victoria Newport,
Yes.
Rick Smith,
Yes.
Jeff Albrecht.
Yes.
Next, we have business consent agenda. This is an action item that the Board of Education approve the attached business consent agenda item A, purchase order requisition list.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Jeff Albrecht,
Yes.
Mary Millette,
Yes.
Victoria Newport,
Yes.
Rick Smith.
Yes.
Next, we have the tax abatement or business and finance, tax rebate and abatement history. And this is Cindy Carpenter, informational item.
Each year we do give the board an update of where we stand with our, either tax rebates or abatements that we have received. We've pretty much, since I started back in 2006, have had various tax abatements or rebates. And there's a spreadsheet attached to the board agenda item that has a history of that. And when we receive all our tax money, we get information from the county that lets us know what those abatements were like, so we received everything. Right now, we have 2 abatements that are still in effect. We have one with 3M Company, which 2017 tax year was the first year that abatement was started. And then we have Right Point, and we're in the 4th year of that 5-year abatement. So right now, those are the 2 active abatements that we have. And for the property assessments for 2018, the estimated that we have of all the properties that we did have either abatements or rebates, which were various ones with Target, Pandu, and a couple with 3M. Actually, we've had 3 with 3M. The EAV of all those properties is about 40.6 million. So we would hope that without those incentivizations, we may not have had that EAV. So it's good to, I think this is a good way to incentivize companies to come to the DeKalb area and increase our EAV. And so with these 2 abatements, that's the end of like the agreement that we had with the city about 5 years ago, but now we have the E-zone, which we still do not have any abatements through the E-zone. These are the only 2 that we still have from the abatement agreement. Any
Questions for Cindy?
Okay,
All right, thank you for that.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have request to bid custodial supplies. This is an action item that the Board of Education approve administration going out to bid for custodial supplies for the district. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Rick Smith,
Yes.
Jeff Albrecht,
Yes.
Mary Millette,
Yes.
Victoria Newport.
Yes. Next, we have bid results, Brooks Chiller Replacement Project. This is an action item that the Board of Education approved the Brooks bid for the installation of the chiller in the amount of $84,000 to Mechanical Inc. from Freeport, Illinois.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Tammy a question. Tammy, in the backup, it talks about electrical changes
Yes.
with respect to the larger chiller. Is that more power because we have a larger unit?
Larger unit, and we're also replacing a pump, and with those 2 units put together, the assessment by the engineer was that we needed to improve on the electrical qualities.
Okay. And you're quite convinced now that this larger chiller is going to handle the load?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We had a 45-ton unit in there, It was actually called for 50 in the original blueprints. I can't explain why a 45 was put in at the time of construction. But as the assessment of the building was done by our engineer, it was determined it was best and most cost effective to move forward with a larger unit.
And this is the 50?
This is a 60, actually.
Other questions for Tammy? Roll call, please.
Karen Willett,
Yes.
Victoria Newport,
Yes.
Rick Smith,
Yes.
Jeff Albrecht.
Yes.
Okay, next we have
Thanks for making that happen.
new business and administration. And this is the shared use agreement with the DeKalb Park District. This is an informational item.
Sorry.
Tammy?
I've been working with Amy Dahl, the executive director of the Park District, for some time now to put together an agreement in regards to the shared use of our facilities and equipment. It's something, it's a relationship we've had with them for several years. We used to have a formal agreement, and it kind of went by the wayside at one point. It was more on a case-by-case situation that we were running, doing different agreements. So we have put together what's before you in regards to some specific items that we share currently and still has flexibility of other shared use that we can have in the future.
And Tammy, I just want to thank you for working with Amy and the Park District, because I think this is a really good agreement for both the school district and the Park District. It shows that we have a very positive relationship between the two entities, and I thank you for putting this together. I think it's a good agreement for
You're
us.
welcome. It's been a pleasure working with Amy and the group. They have been very flexible, even without a formal agreement in place. Amy's always been very willing to work with us when we needed space or equipment or whatever it might be, and we've done the same. Some big things, our golf team uses their golf courses. We use their sports and rec for evacuation drills and an actual crisis situation we had at Rosette that year. And it's just like just a quick phone call and we make it work.
Very easy to work with.
I was on the Park District when we were putting in the facility, and this seems like the kind of thing that we envisioned. So thank you very much for making that happen.
Okay, do we have a consensus then to bring back the shared use agreement with the DeKalb Park District at the next meeting as an action item?
So move this.
Victoria, could I ask a question?
Oh, yeah, sure, sorry.
Tammy, section 5 and 6, indemnity and insurance. Has our legal department looked at this thing and given its blessing to this as far as the, okay. that's all.
Yes, we've had it reviewed by our attorney.
Okay, great, thank you.
Next, we have the 2019-2020 school year calendar. This is an action item that the Board of Education approve the proposed calendar for the 2019-2020 school year as attached.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
No. I'd like to ask Jamie.
Go ahead.
Jamie, you feel that this is the best way we can go here, and is there anything that you made some changes on that you are of note, or is this pretty much straight up from what we were before, what we did last year, or did you put some effort into a particular area that you want to bring to our attention?
Well, there was a lot of hands in this, and it mirrors pretty much start to finish, at least the beginning and end of what this year's calendar was. Now that we have climate controlled buildings, we can start a little bit earlier, which allows us to end a little bit earlier. We moved around with the curriculum instruction department. We moved around some teacher institute days, some collaboration time, which just made more sense where they ended up on the calendar. We also, with this calendar has been reviewed already by the State Board of Education because of the new guidance document that had recently come out after we initially approved it 2 meetings ago. We had to go back and make some slight revisions, but we had sent those off, and this has been tentatively, what has been approved. I have the email, so we're good to go.
And you pointed out some issues related to institute days, as far as shuffling those things, moving those things around because of the state had given some different guidelines.
No, because we had moved parent-teacher conference dates, we moved those up into October instead of, they were a little bit later. We also moved up an institute day that typically fell in October. We moved it to late September. We moved an institute that typically fell kind of middle spring. We moved that into January, late January, just because it made more sense for us and what we're doing and the work that we're doing with our staffs to have those institutes fall earlier in the semester.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Jeff Albrecht,
Yes.
Karen Malat,
Yes.
Victoria Newport,
Yes.
Rick Smith.
Yes.
All right. And with that, the meeting will be adjourned. All in favor?
Aye.
Wow.